Hello, Blakefield community. My name is Brendan Fanzone, and welcome to the first episode of Blakefield Insider, Season 2. Today, we're sitting down to learn more about the 5 new staff members joining us this year in a variety of different positions all over the school.
Hello, I'm here with Mr. Dylan Hosford, Loyola Blakefield, class of 2004, and new math teacher here. Mr. Hosford is teaching pre-algebra and algebra to our 8th graders and geometry to our sophomores this year. Mr. Hosford, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Could you provide a little background about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, so I've actually been teaching for 10 years. I've been teaching middle school math at a private Catholic school in Ellicott City called Trinity School. It's run by the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur, and I got into that school through a teaching program when I was working as a substitute teacher at Cathedral, which is right down the road. The principal at the time keyed me into a program called Operation Teach, which is run out of the University of Notre Dame of Maryland. And so it was like it was a 2-year program where I lived in community with other Catholic school teachers and really just kind of got my feet wet, got my teaching degree there, and have been and was at Trinity ever since for 10 years. And then I finally decided to make the move to come back to my alma mater, to Loyola.
Yeah, that's great. We're glad to have you. You've been teaching here for a month now. What is it like being here as a teacher instead of a student?
It's definitely a little strange. I feel I was a little apprehensive about having to start everything online, just to sort of to begin. Not really knowing any of the students and having to sort of adjust in that way was different. But I think now that we're back on campus, it's definitely floods me with a lot of memories. I still see a lot of teachers that were teaching me when I was here. That's really cool. A lot of legends, a lot of teaching legends are here, and so it's really awesome to be able to interact with them and be co-workers with them. And then I've just really enjoyed interacting with the students so far. I've been really impressed with the young men at the school. It's very much like it was when I was here. It was an impressive group back then, and it's a very impressive group now. So it's really good to see that, sometimes we always say change is good. Sometimes it's nice to see that some things are still the same. And so, yes, it's been awesome. It's been a very welcoming environment. And I also feel like a student too, because I'm walking all over with this hybrid. I'm all over campus. I'm in Wheeler, I'm in Burke, I'm over in Sheridan. So I get to kind of do a mini tour of campus every single day, which is awesome.
Yeah, we have a great campus. Is there anything specific that you're hoping to get involved in this year?
So I was thinking about getting involved in the golf program. I play a lot of golf. I've been really into it. And so I thought that might be a good avenue for me to go. However, I was also approached already by Mr. Kraft, again, one of those legendary teachers I was talking about. And he used to coach me back in the day in tennis, and he's still doing coaching varsity tennis. And so he asked me to help him out. So it's going to be difficult to say, if I decide to not do tennis, it's going to be difficult to say no to Mr. Kraft. But yeah, definitely interested in getting involved in some of the sports that are going on here on campus, and possibly a club. But I as of yet, I don't have any ideas what club that might be.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Hosford.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. It was fun to do this.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mateen Kane, and I'm sitting here today with Mr. Tanner Selby. alumnus turned teacher. Mr. Selby, could you introduce yourself and what you teach at Loyola?
Sure. So I graduated from Loyola class of 2016, and then I've spent my time in university at Peabody Institute in Baltimore, and now I am back teaching upper and middle school jazz ensemble honors, that class, every morning. So
It's nice. It's nice. Um, sounds like music has been a big part of your life. So I was just wondering, how did you first get into the world of playing music?
um, I started playing when I was in um, like elementary, middle school. I started taking lessons. I play guitar primarily. So I started taking lessons for that, um, just as something I was kind of interested in. I put it down for a couple of years. And then about eighth grade, to be honest, when I was thinking about coming to Loyola for high school, I wanted to do something at Loyola, and I'm not a big sports person. So I thought, oh, join band. Like, that'll be cool. I kind of know how to play guitar. And then I got more serious about it, and during Loyola, decided that it was something that I really wanted to do. So to be honest, it was Loyola that got me into playing more, at least in a serious,
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah. I completely get that. So what brought you back to Loyola? I mean, specifically to teach at Loyola.
Yeah. So I mean, I've still been involved with Loyola ever since I graduated in 2016. I've been playing in the pit band for all of their spring musicals since I graduated, and also 2 years, my junior and senior year when I was there. So I've been playing musicals at Loyola for 5-6 years now. So being there is not necessarily new, but I think you know. The performing arts department just wanted someone new, young, fresh to help out with also the load of band. Miss Thielen does a lot of work with all the bands there, and I think me taking this kind of off her hands for the jazz group and the combo is just allows her to focus on that, and allows me to focus with you guys. And just creates an all-around better, performing arts department. So, it just came up because I think I've been involved, and people know me, and I've tried to stay involved, and I don't know, it's just a natural fit, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. Well, thanks so much for that. We're really glad to have you here. I think you're a great teacher. I mean, I love taking your class every morning.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. But now that you're back, not as a student, but as a teacher, I'm just wondering, what clubs and or activities are you thinking of getting involved in outside of jazz?
Yeah, outside of jazz, yeah. All right. Well, I'm I'm the moderator, I guess, for the jazz combo, which is now a club. So I'm already running that club. Figuring out what we're going to do during these trying times with that. But outside of that, I don't know what's still there from when I was there. But when I was there, I was part of we had a ping pong club that we did all the time that met in the forecourt. I would love to see if that's still a thing. Man, I don't know. I saw there was a magic club. I think that's sweet. Magic the Gathering is cool. I think Mr. Bailey does that. I'm into all that nerdy stuff or whatever. So I think something, if I wasn't going to do music, it would be something like that I can just kind of indulge myself a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, just being anywhere as a part of Loyola is an amazing experience. No matter what you decide to do, whether it's just jazz combo or you do decide to get into stuff like magic, it'll be great. But Mr. Selby, just want to say thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me today, or me talking with you today. It's truly great. And yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me again.
Hi, I'm Jake Taylor, and I'm here with new upper school biology and English teacher, Miss Laura Hart. Miss Hart, it's great to have you with us.
It's great to be here with you, Jake. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I understand you've done a lot before becoming a teacher. What drove you to finally decide that the classroom was the place for you?
Yeah. So my last job before I sought a job in teaching was in marketing. So I wrote sales proposals for a dining services company. I also ran our blog, some of our communications with clients. And it was particularly an educational dining services company. It's actually Sage, which I believe is Loyola's dining services company. And I loved it. My coworkers were great. It was intellectually challenging. There was always a nice deadline that we were up against, but I didn't find it as fulfilling as I had working in the writing center in college. So I really missed that connection with students, and I decided to pivot.
So what prior teaching experience do you have, and what would you say the biggest adjustment from that to Loyola has been?
I worked up at West Nottingham Academy, which is a small boarding school up in Cecil County. I also taught English and biology there. What's different about West Nottingham and Loyola is that at West Nottingham, there were about 100 students total. At Loyola, I teach about 100 students. So I've definitely had to get up to speed with time management with my grading.
So I have learned that you and I share a love of nerdy topics like Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who. Now, if you got to pick one of your favorite books, TV shows, movies, or anything to teach as a topic in your English class, which would it be and why?
Doozy of a question, my friend. So recently, I've been rewatching Futurama. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
Sure.
So amazing. And I think the class that I would teach would be looking at Futurama's Star Trek references, specifically its literary references, because Star Trek is always referencing Arthur Conan Doyle or Dickens or Shakespeare. So I would look at those episodes of Star Trek, the original literature that they reference, and the Futurama episode that references them.
Excellent answer.
Thanks.
Finally, beyond teaching, are there any other ways that you plan to get involved in the Blakefield community?
Yeah, as I told you before, I was in a writing center in college, and I ended up leading it there and starting a writing center at my past school. So I would love to start one at Blakefield. I think I'm going to give it a year, get my toes wet, and then try to start it up with a group of students next year.
Thank you so much. I know we're all looking forward to that. My only regret is that I won't be here to see it. Thank you again so much, Miss Hart. It's great to have you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Jake. And remember, you can always come back and sit down on a class.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is David Ruiz, and I'm with Loyola's Murray Service Program's newest member, Miss Copper. And tell us, how are you, Miss Copper, today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing just well. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you came to work at Loyola?
So, I don't know how far back you want to go, but before Loyola, I have worked as both a middle and high school science teacher. And when I was at Baltimore Lab School, I specifically worked with other students that had learning differences as well.
Okay.
So before that, I actually worked at the National Aquarium in Baltimore, and that's actually where I got my inspiration to become a science teacher.
Oh, okay. So what drew you to working in Loyola's Murray Service Program?
Well, ironically, my husband is an alum of the school, so I didn't know about the Murray Services Program until he started looking at the website one day, and then noticed that there was a position listed. And when I started reading the requirements for the position, I realized that it was a really good fit for my background and my teaching profession. And I had been saying that I wanted to do something a little bit different than just teaching in the classroom. So it seemed like a really good fit at the time.
Oh, okay. And what are your hopes for this school year? And what are you looking for to get involved in? Anything outside of the classroom?
I'm hoping to get involved in some extracurricular activities. There's been some talk of trying to help piggyback the robotics club, because I heard that was something that was done before. But I actually just recently moved to Towson from Annapolis, so I haven't gotten off the ground yet with starting any club or activities because I've been wrapped up with that. But another thing that has been a passion of mine in my background is theater. And one of the things that I used to do was teaching basic acting stuff for adults and doing improv stuff. So I would love to do like an improvisation club or, something like that with the theater department.
Oh, okay. And is there anything else you wish for the Loyola community to know about you?
That I am really excited to be here, and that I am, definitely learning how to be a part of the community and to be a part of the community both in a virtual way and also physically here as well. So I'm excited to see what Loyola has to offer as I continue to develop professionally.
Thank you, Ms. Copper, for meeting with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm joined here with Mr. Kahlil Wade, who is teaching mathematics at our upper school this year and is our brand new addition to our mathematics department. Mr. Wade, thank you for taking time to sit down with me today.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So we're just going to ask you a quick few questions to introduce you to the student body, if that's all right.
Oh, of course, of course.
So first, can you tell me a little bit about your history or background in teaching? Did you teach anywhere before coming to Loyola, or if not, what was college like?
Yes, I taught an engineering course at Lighthouse Academies in Jacksonville, Arkansas. This is my second year teaching.
Awesome. Arkansas. Wow. I haven't heard of that one before. So, well, since you've taught before, how has the transition between virtual learning and that physical teaching in that first year been for you?
It's been interesting, but I would say that Loyola has been the best place to make that transition. I've had fun.
Yeah, I certainly agree. It's been interesting. Are you hoping to get involved with anything specific at Loyola, given your engineering background or any other interests you may have, any clubs or activities outside of the classroom?
I'm just, right now we're transitioning back to in-person learning, but when things get in full swing, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do and be where I need to be.
Awesome. And lastly, what do you enjoy doing in your free time, despite the global crisis at the moment?
I love playing the electric bass. My favorite thing to do.
Oh yeah.
I got a little risks going on.
Little musical side?
Just a little bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to sit down, and I hope that you have a splendid evening and a wonderful rest of the year.
I hope you do too, Mr. Wallner.
Thank you, Mr. Wade.
On behalf of Loyola, we want to give a huge welcome to all our new faces, whether it be students, faculty, or family. Once again, I'm Brendan Fanzone with Blakefield Insider. Stay tuned and roll Don's roll.